You are listening to High School 510, where sports is the plane, comedy is the pilot, and the sweet Jeeba is our jet fuel. Please sit back and enjoy the ride.
Whoever designed bathroom stalls, if they did a better job of making them more slightly spacious, or welcoming, or just change the direction that the doors open in the motherfucker. I'm tired of these tiny ass. It's tiny, I know, but I want to be able to stretch out. And when I open the door to leave the motherfucker, I don't want it to open in where it's pushing me back against the toilet.
Next thing I know, I got toilet piss from the toilet on the back of my car.
Bruh, I got the toilet rub, which is basically that drippage that hits all the front of the toilet seat that just most people don't know about, and it just ends up drying up there, and you just have a nice coating of dried up piss on there. The doors open in. Make the door open out. Nobody else needs to worry about touching dirty ass toilets when they in the walkway in front of the bathrooms. Stop making the doors open in. Every time I'm sitting there acting like I'm in Cirque du Soleil trying to contort myself so I don't touch that goddamn dry rub of piss. All right, let's move on to quick hitters. Quick hitters is our popcorn segment. Oh shit, that tank is hitting.
The what?
The tank is hitting. I just took a swig of the tank. Oh shit. Quick hitters is our popcorn segment, and more or less we bounce around, give a take, make a joke, lampoon, talk shit about something, but just pop in when you get a chance, and we just talk shit about it. Quick hitters. Quick hitters.
Daddy, please.
All right, quick hitters. In a disturbing video posted on Instagram, Orlando Brown, formerly of That's So Raven and other Disney shows, and the little boy who played Tigga in Major Pain, who did the Michael Jackson dance, came out on Instagram this week and said Nick Cannon sucked his dick dressed as a woman.
Oh, don't worry about Nick. Nick, okay, look, fine, okay? You want me to tell everybody? You want me to let everybody know what that? Okay, fine. Nick, I let you suck my dick. Okay? Fine, I said. I let Nick suck my dick. And I liked it. It was okay, fine. Nick, you sucked my dick. But everybody knows you did it as a female. But Nick, you sucked my dick. I didn't want to say that. You know? Nick been sucking dick.
Shout out to Walmart for condoning somebody walking around saying Nick been sucking dick. He was literally walking around Walmart just recording himself on IG Live. It's like, Nick been sucking dick.
You know, he went from being a Disney star to shopping at Walmart.
The brother's got some stuff going on. We need to help him.
Yeah.
We don't need to help him. No, we don't.
You gotta help yourself.
Yeah, no.
Someone needs to. It's one of his loved ones.
Nick Cannon needs to help him. You owe it to him. You sucked his dick. Well, so Nick Cannon came out. He kind of called out Hollywood for, using up and fucking up these young stars and then not, helping them with their issues, mental illness, that might be, emerge. And they kind of just use them up and then spit them out. And if they're not productive, they just don't use them anymore. And so they got people who are not fully formed adults. So I kind of give Nick Cannon kudos for that. Hey, man, I heard you was good at sucking dick. You was bad at rapping. But you know what? You got some real insight on how to take care of your mental health, man. Shout out to Nick Cannon sponsorship.
Wasn't he dating Oprah for a while? One of those?
Who, Nick Cannon?
Didn't he date one of those ladies?
Nick been sucking dick.
Oprah. He was dating he was married to
Mariah Carey. That's
he married Mariah Carey. Yep.
He married her?
Yeah, they're married.
2 kids.
They have a couple kids. There will be no more Noah's Ark in the sky, as the travel department has proposed new rules which would limit service animals to trained dogs, and any other animals would have to be under the preferred carrier pet program label. The flight attendants, CWA, which is probably like their union, lauded the proposal, saying that the safety of passengers and flight attendants has been threatened by people abusing the service animal technicality by bringing on animals that have not been fully trained, that are obviously not service animals, as there was a spike from 2013, 719 complaints. It more than quadrupled in 5 years, with 2018 having over 3,000 complaints of animal issues. So, what do you guys think about that?
Well, it's a step in the right direction. I've seen photos. I mean, they're pretty hilarious. People getting on planes with turkeys.
Shout out to American privilege to be able to just claim a support animal at any given moment and be able to bring your goddamn pet on a plane.
Turkey is like a wild fucking beast.
Shout out to the Department of Travel and Transportation, whatever your name is, sponsorship.
So I've looked up, like, for the last year, I've just been interested in what people are flying as their emotional support animal. There have been turkeys, spiders, huge dogs. Someone tried to take a peacock on one.
Shout out to Miss B, sponsorship.
They didn't let her on at the gates. She got the security, and she had the peacock on top of... Yeah, she had the peacock on top of, like, you know, one of those push carts. Never made it in.
I saw a guy at the airport, my last time there, had a fig tree.
Someone's gone on with goats, kangaroos.
Dude, so
There
my
was
thing
one
is...
fight in Australia that had 2 kangaroos.
Bruh.
2 different people.
It was an international flight, and he was carrying a giant fig tree.
Like he's supposed to be able to get
and
that shit through
he had it
customs.
wrapped. That's what I thought. That might be a customs issue. But it was wrapped. The roots were all wrapped up in a bunch of moist towels. And it was like pretty big. He had to carry it with 2 hands. It was super, like 6 feet long.
Maybe this is
What was he
maybe
doing?
this
Like,
is
that was
emotional.
his-
Supporting a tree.
Emotional support tree.
tree.
It's like, these figs that come off these branches.
After we got off the flight, he took it into the bathroom and was like re-wetting the towel.
Damn. One of the pictures was taken by this woman who went to the bathroom because the dog shat all over the place, in the seat and on the floor.
And
She's
it's
trying to clean off her shoes and clothes.
if you're sitting near there and you smell just like dog shit, just like being circulated through the air vents, I would be pissed off. Shout out to y'all for trying to, you know, make sure that y'all fix this issue, because there's too many motherfuckers using this exemption that don't deserve it.
What about all those people that need emotional support, but their pig is the only thing that can give it to them?
Then you just have to stay at your home with your pig.
Just bring a BLT with
Or,
it.
I don't know why this thing popped up. People needed emotional supports in the 70s, 50s, 60s, 80s, 90s.
it's
Early
called
2000s.
Ambien.
Yeah. You either take Ambien and go without it, or you stay at home.
Shout out to pharmaceutical sponsorship. It's like, bro, it's like, yeah, like Molly Percocet. That's what you could also. He's like, Molly and Percocet. Those are my 2 supports. What happened to good old days of just taking some good strong drugs that knock you out? Well, shout out to alcohol, my emotional support. Jesus, I really don't want to do this one. Okay. This has become an issue. We got real world problems, guys. Our next quick hitter, Antonio Brown.
Oh, boy.
Antonio Brown. This nigga. Antonio Brown got arrested or turned himself in this week. He was accused of aggravated assault and burglary of a moving truck driver for goods undelivered to his house. Apparently there's a dispute that the goods that were being delivered to his house needed to be fully delivered because he had fully paid for them. The driver said on the invoice that the rest of the payment was due and that he hadn't completed the payment, so he couldn't drop it off until he completed the payment. Something weird. It sounds kind of weird and fishy, but regardless of which, Antonio Brown was arrested because the person called and said he had been assaulted and they stole things off the back of his truck. And he was throwing rocks at his truck and stuff. He's just doing some kiddie shit in front of his goddamn house, whatever.
Sounds pretty normal for Florida.
Yeah, this is almost not funny anymore.
Oh, it is.
Almost.
So any well wishes you guys want to send to Antonio Brown? We're just gonna make our quick hitter well wishes to Antonio Brown, or advice you'd give him.
Get some rest.
Sleep.
Sleep.
Stay in Florida.
Yeah, Antonio Brown. It's hard to tell somebody to get help. You and Orlando Brown should hang out and go on Dr. Phil together, and then discuss how y'all gonna not fix yourselves.
Start a reality show, Antonio and Orlando.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah,
The Brown brothers.
yeah. The Brown Square.
Meet the Browns.
Meet the Browns. They could just like talk about who's getting their dick sucked by who.
dicks.
Orlando's like, Antonio Brown, your trainer suck my dick.
Hey, shout out.
Brown throw a bag of gummy dicks at him.
Hey, shout out to Antonio Brown for having a trainer that looks like Too Short. Major League Baseball has come out and said it will not strip the titles from the Houston Astros nor the Boston Red Sox amid more revelations and things that have come out about the cheating scandals.
That was their call stealing thing.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to Yule Log. Yule Log is making a presence in the show. Todd, can you get a quote from Yule Log real quick? If you guys don't know, we are at a cabin right now, and we are sitting by the fire, drinking mezcal, tink, and just having a nice, good old conversation about life and Nick Cannon and Orlando Brown. Anyways, do you think that they should strip the title?
Yes. It's pushing the limits of the game, right? It's kind of not in the spirit of it, not in the spirit of competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty poor.
It's pretty piss poor.
Yeah, I say you vacated it too.
Todd, what do you think?
I said keep it.
You
Keep
think?
it so people get angry and always have to have an argument about it.
Oh, kind of like Eli Manning. Dude.
More material for podcasts.
I don't know. I think they could strip it and just vacate the title and just like nobody won it that year. You know, I don't know. I think that would be crazy, but not much.
They do it in college sports.
They do it in amateur sports. They do it. I don't know if there's a precedence in professional sports, but I think that if
everyone's doing it.
If you want to deter it, though, well, shout out to Mike Fires. Apparently, breaking news: Mike Fires is a pedo.
Come on.
Just came out like in the last couple hours.
That's not making it in.
Yeah.
Apparently, based
Worse
off
than
Twitter.
Elon Musk right now, Jared.
Based off Twitter. If I saw it on Twitter, it must be real. There are claims that Mike Fires was dating and sending photos of himself to underage girls during his time in Houston.
Yeah. We know what that comes from. That's just them getting back at him for breaking the code, the dugout code.
Hey, shout out to Aaron for sounding like Baby D right now.
Hey, Aaron's barely holding on right now. This is the latest we ever recorded a podcast. And this is after that long miles and miles of hiking and snowshoeing.
Yeah, this is late, but we've only gone 2 hours so far.
I know, it hasn't been long.
We haven't finished the 1 pound bag of beef jerky.
Just started on 1 pound bag.
Aaron had the nerve to buy a 1 pound bag of beef jerky and then,
for $25.
For $25, some goddamn shitty ass Jack Slinks beef jerky. We were thinking about making this episode the Jack Slinks episode, where we would have to eat the 1 pound bag of jerky throughout the whole show, but we're not going to do that because
I'm telling you, I was in a rush. Still holding on. Don't need no dramatic pauses. I'm holding on.
All right, let's get to our Cutty Corner Shoutouts. Cutty Corner Shoutouts. It is where you have the floor to complain about something that's pissing you off, not working, or just been frustrating you in general. Cutty Corner Shoutouts. Cutty Corner Shoutouts.
It's time. Cutty Corner.
We're burning now. God, if you let it help. So cold and bleeding now. I'm in for it, man. Gonna let you down. He had sex with my mama. We're broken people now. I just said I need a Becky.
Cutty Corner Shoutouts. Aaron.
Yeah.
Do you have a Cutty Corner Shoutout?
I do, but I'm going the opposite route today. Today I want to give a shout out to LeBron James for he came and he paid for membership for the Harlem YMCA bikes for all the kids, so they could they have their own little like bike service through Lyft, and so they can make it to like the after school programs, just Saturday and Sunday programs, to different sports programs. So my shout out goes out to LeBron James for and it's the opposite of a Cutty. It's more of a congratulations for looking out for not, sometimes people like LeBron could get wrapped up in being in Akron or Cleveland, things like that, or the city's playing at that moment. But that was nice to be able to pull that out for the kids in the YMCA of Harlem.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I didn't see that either. Good for him.
Yeah.
Shout out to LeBron James.
You got one?
Come on, man. You cannot yell shout out from LeBron James that far away.
Paul, do you have a Cutty Corner shout out? Paul, you have to have something.
The only thing I can do is like complain about the Australian Open tennis. And
That's fine. You're our niche.
For the
You're
niche.
the niche.
It's almost for the niche sport,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
not European. It's Australian Open.
That's the same
That is
thing.
essentially the same thing. They have center clause,
I'm
right?
joking,
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, so it's halfway through that. Djokovic is just won his game today, so it's probably gonna end up being him and Nadal in the final.
Big surprise.
Yeah.
Big surprise, right?
Wait, those guys are good or something?
It's almost like there's two men that play tennis. That's like it.
Sometimes 3.
Sometimes 3 with
Every now and
Roger.
again, Roger shows up
Andy
to spoil the
Roderick.
fun.
Fucking
Andy Roddick.
yeah, Andy Roddick is so
That's a
good.
blast from the past.
Shout out to Andy Roddick sponsorship. He's so good.
He just looked like Stifler.
He's my idol. He dated Mandy Moore. He's
date man.
He was my idol until Tristan Thompson took that over for wrecking the Kardashians. Todd, do you have a Cutty Corner shout out?
I don't know. I'm still kind of pissed off about Eli Manning.
Damn.
Like Eli Manning just pissing me off, bro.
I just can't believe it's.
You want to make him your Cutty?
He's not a Hall of Famer.
What's
And-
the Hall of Fame mean for you?
And that's the thing. It's like I definitely have that same mindset of that argument where it's like if you have to even have the conversation and ask whether or not they're a Hall of Famer, then they're not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And that's like the epitome of Eli Manning. He's going to be one of these people that's perfect to talk about forever for the Hall of Fame. And he has huge fans who are just blindly following him, and then a bunch of stats backing up how shitty he was. So people want to argue about it. He's not a Hall of Famer. It'll let way too many people in the Hall of Fame. Bill Cowher's not a Hall of Famer.
No, yeah, that whole coaches thing really messed it up.
Coaches things. I mean, Jimmy Johnson, I think, is a Hall of Famer.
Jimmy Johnson deserved it. Yeah.
And he was like the GM for that team and brought all those guys in.
Yeah.
But Bill Cowher just kind of like... I feel like the Hall of Fame coaches of this era were coaches way longer than Cowher. Like
They were.
You see Andy Reid, you see Belichick. These guys have been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Even Tomlin probably has more years now than Cowher. Or close to it.
Probably. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think they let way too many people in the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is weak. Eli Manning's not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, you water it down when you start letting more people in.
He's not even the Hall of Very Good. He's the Hall of Mediocre with a prestigious name.
Yeah! And that nigga owe me $5.
My Cutty Corner shout out goes out to Hillary Rodham Clinton. I need Hillary Clinton to sit down and shut the fuck up. She came out this week in an interview with the Hollywood. You alright, baby?
Yeah.
Host has got that new cover.
Yeah, my leg.
Glitter.
My leg.
I need my leg.
Oh, my
to
leg. Oh, my leg. It was a sock you in the leg. Oh, my leg.
So Hostess, you said Hostess got a new cupcake?
Yeah, Hillary Clinton, sit down and shut up. She came out with the interview that was posted this week, or came out this week, from the Hollywood Reporter, where she was quoted as saying, essentially, nobody likes Bernie Sanders and he hasn't done anything. She says, nobody likes him. Nobody wants to work with him. He got nothing done, Clinton said. He was a career politician. It's all just baloney, and I feel so bad that people got sucked into it. Bitch.
Damn.
Bitch.
That's the former first lady.
I'm not trying to be chauvinist. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to women. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to nobody other than this bitch. Number one, you lost to a egomaniacal moron that can barely read and enunciate words. That's on you, bitch.
Hamburgers.
Number two, you and your little wannabe Wanda Sykes dress suits can get the fuck out of here. They ain't cute. Your little short hair bob ain't cute. And just because you want to switch, your stance on everything based upon whatever you think the people... Damn, nigga.
I thought I was awake.
Don't sleep on Hillary. She'll slit your throat, man. My second Cutty Corner shout out goes out to comedians who don't deserve to be at comedy shows because they're terrible. If you're not good enough to get past the open mic, please don't try and like follow your dream and try and like get on comedy shows. I went to a comedy show last night in Oakland, and there was like 3 decent comics. There was another one that was decent, but she didn't know how to stay on her material, and she just started talking shit. And she was kind of funny, like hoorah and talking shit to people, but she didn't stay on her material, and the acoustics were bad, and people kind of lost interest because she wasn't like captivating them with like jokes that were leading them in the story. Right? Stick to your material or write better material.
It's not me.
It's not Aaron. That was Baby D. Baby D.
Awesome during the podcast.
That's what happens when you get 3 Cutty Corner shout-outs.
Aaron's about to get a magic moment.
And the slowest quick hitters.
Yeah.
It flows, yeah.
You motherfuckers wasn't helping. There was a dude that basically walked up there and did, you know those the Diamond Company commercials, the Shane Company commercials?
Yeah.
You hear about?
Yeah.
His first joke was coming out and talking about the Shane Company commercials.
What about it?
I don't know, because the Shane Company commercials are boring as fuck. They're not funny. They're not interesting. And he tried to imitate the Shane Company commercial and went on like a 3-minute joke about the Shane Company.
They were like, Shane Company open weekdays till 8.
Yeah.
Saturdays and Sundays.
Saturdays and Sunday. I'm Tom Bodette. We'll leave the light on for you. All I'm going to say is this. You don't start a joke. You don't open your set. You are a terrible comedian if you open your set trying to make a joke of a radio commercial that is notoriously boring, and then have a boring ass joke where you're basically imitating the boring voice of the dude the entire time and nobody laughs at it. And then what do you do next? You take your shirt off and you do some weird imitation that people like laugh at because they're seeing you basically further buffoon yourself, be a buffoon. And then you walk off and the MC just basically hoorides you hella hard and says, I don't know that dude. I don't know how he got here. But that's what happens when you mix white privilege, white mediocrity, and some alcohol. The dude walked off the stage, and I started trying. I was like, that's fucked up. But he was terrible. He should not have been on that stage. If you don't have real material and you're not actually funny, don't try and go to like a real like comedy show. Go to an open mic where you can sign up and you can go work on your shitty material. And if your material is more than shitty and it's better than shitty, then you can say, hey, I got some real material.
So the thing is, Jarrett, God has given you this divine tool for comedy shows where the comedian is bad. It's called heckling.
Yeah.
And you're not going to do that? No? You wouldn't heckle someone?
No, I didn't want to be that dude.
What if he's trash?
He was terrible. Other people were like, everyone just stopped paying attention to him at a certain point. People just started talking louder and louder in the bar to the point where he wasn't like being paid attention to.
Oh,
so
for the best.
Yes, it was for the best. But then the MC got up there. It was like, I don't know that motherfucker. I don't know what the fuck that was. He said that's what you mix privilege, white mediocrity, and alcohol. Dude, Aaron, like he was as bad, if not worse, than that dude at Ivy Room that one time where Jason Good was sitting there laughing hella loud on purpose because he was so terrible because nobody was laughing at his joke. That dude, he's
so awkward. He'd be like seated like 2 feet away from him and no one laughing.
Yeah. Didn't somebody we know knew that dude? And he walked by Jason, hey, thanks for the laughs, kind of like sarcastically. And Jason's like, he's kept laughing. Jason did not give a fuck. Shout out to Jason Good. Come on our show, sponsorship. All right, well, that is our show, my friends. That is our show. We hope you enjoyed the content. Any last words you guys like to have?
Chucky Arla.
Chucky Arla.
Right here for President Jarrett.
This nigga Aaron's over here sleep talking. He's like, Aaron, man, you remind me of a character I seen in Medea Boo 2.
Take a picture of this and make this the goddamn picture for the show.
Happy birthday, Jarrett.
Happy birthday, Dan.
Thank you. Yeah, this is.
It sounded good, Jarrett. Sounded good. Put a fork in that one. told you I came on real strong. It is strong.
Well, thank you for listening to our show. Be sure to check us out. Email us at highscore. Or what is it? Yeah.
Wow.
Email us.
The tank is kicked in.
Dude, it's oh Jesus. Email us at highscore510.com. Or shit. Send your fan mail or questions you'd like us to answer at highscore510.fans@gmail.com. And we will leave you with this.
It's gonna be him snoring.
Put on the Yule log and Aaron snoring. And we will leave you with this. This is like crow, crack, crow, crack, crow, crack. That'll be tight, dude.
What has he done? Can you tell me? Big Magic Johnson. What has he done?
Well, yes, he's a business person. And,
He's got AIDS.
He wrecked him. He got him begging for him to come back. You ain't seen that happen before.
Nah,
The Kardashians.
They go back. I saw her go back to Lamar Odom after he was cracked out and had 30 seizures. And
she went back to him to support him while she was still dating James Harden at the time, bro. She went back to support him in the hospital.
James Harden thing was like 3 days.
Bro, she supported him.
Last a week.
She supported him in the hospital. They were done once he got healthy. Like she was just being supportive because they were married. That was not her going back to a nigga.
She still went back. You're not recording, aren't you?
Yeah. That was her trying to be a good person. That was her trying to redeem herself.
He just survived him.
He wrecked that house. He got them to kick out their best friend that was living with them.
Wait, this is
That's
OJ's
only for
house?
the better.
He created a rift between the sisters that are only half sisters.
No, the sister's still strong. That's why they kicked her out.
Your friend was making out with my
If anything,
man.
he brought their family closer together by getting rid of the trash that was hanging out. The hanger on.
And he's also having his best season ever. He's like borderline all-star. That's surviving the Kardashians.
As I said, he survived it. He didn't
But that's
wreck it, he
also
survived it.
thriving
He's
after the
springboarded.
Kardashians.
Like he just bounced off.
He's thriving, surviving, and thriving. Nobody else really survived and thrived other than Ben Simmons dated a Jenner, so it wasn't even really a Kardashian. So
Doesn't really count.
yeah, doesn't really count.
Wait, what's the difference
Well,
between a Jenner and a Kardashian? Aren't they
Kardashians,
the same?
they're different dads.
What? Oh God, I don't have time for this.
Make up your fucking mind.
Paul's Courtney tournament. How did Jared sneak in here?
It got shanghaied.
All right, sorry, Paul. Anything else about the?
No, that's it. Tennis is over.
Fuck tennis.
It's 15 level. It's fine.
Hey, tell us one sport we should check out before the end of February. What's one new sport in 2020 we should look out for?
The new sport in 2020.
Just a new sport that nobody would know about.
Start the trend.
So there is wingsuit racing,
Wow.
which is four dudes jumping out of a helicopter, flying around pylons hanging from other helicopters, racing to the ground.
Shout out
Wow.
to
It's on the Ocho.
yeah, hey, for sure. Shout out to Red Bull sponsorship because everything is Red Bull. All those extreme sports Red Bulls.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were watching that with Shasta. That shit was
legit,
insane.
yeah.
It's pretty tight.
So that's your 2020 sport from Niche.
Wingsuit racing, niche sports
There you go.
affiliate. Thank you, Paul. Todd, do you have a Cutty Corner shout out?